All right, all right. Welcome back to the Brown Balls Podcast, episode 14. Kenil, how you doing, man?
Good, brother. How are you, man?
Good, man, good. I know we missed the episode last week. We did
Yeah.
record, but we had an issue with our mic. We had another episode last night that we recorded as well, and the same thing. So hopefully third time's a charm. We are back at it. We had an exciting week of NFL football.
Of
We
course.
have some developments happening in the NBA. Let's get into it, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's kick off with Monday Night Football.
Monday Night
Texans
Football,
against
yes,
my
yes,
Cowboys.
yes.
Let's do
The
it.
Cowboys are the disaster season that they had. They lost 34-10 at home to kind of top off their season. I think they're statistically eliminated, right? Is that what I saw? I don't know if that was a meme or not, but it looked like they're statistically out of it now.
They are, man. They are. They're done. They're done. It's a fire sale,
Yeah.
man. Burn it down.
Yeah, man. So what do you do? What do you throw out Trey Lance out there? Do you just see what you have in him?
They need
do you
to.
make
They
changes?
need to.
What do you do?
I mean, I don't know why they're still playing. They're not playing Trey Lance. I mean, see what you guys have him in. I mean, he has an option year coming up. I mean, you can use him as a trade bait too, right? In the draft as well.
Yeah.
So teams will need a QB, right? We can see across the league. So it's better to showcase his skills. You always want to look for the future, right? I mean, Dak Prescott, he is real. I mean, he is reliable, but I mean, he gets injured here and there. So you want to make sure you have a good backup as well. So, but I mean, I think they should throw a Trey Lance. I mean, look, this season is done. All right, you got to move on. As a Cowboys fan, see what you have in your young talents, and also start losing some games to get the best draft pick there is, man. What do you say?
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think they just kind of call it a season. Again, throw Trey Lance out there, see what you have. Maybe, if he does really well, use him to get another, maybe a good defensive player. Because that's what they're really lacking the most, is their defense has really regressed over the last year. Probably a running back as well. I mean, they had a chance to get Derrick Henry. They missed on that. So maybe somebody else comes along. Maybe there's a good running back in the draft that they can go after, because they really thought Ezekiel Elliott was going to be coming back to life all of a sudden, even though he had really bad years the last 3 years. So
yeah, man, I don't know what they were thinking. They let Pollard walk. I mean, there are a few running backs that are available, like you said, Ezekiel. Saquon, Derrick Henry. I mean, they had even Eckler from San Diego. I mean, LA Chargers. He was available. He went to Commanders. So there's a few running backs that are out there, man. I mean, Cam Akers too. From the Rams, so was available. He went somewhere else. I mean, definitely their running game shows. This Monday Night Football game, kind of showed, that they have no running game at all. I mean, if you look at the other side, Houston, C.J. Stroud threw for a lot, but at the same time, Joe Mixon, ran for, over 100 yards, so the running game was there for them, right? So what do you make of them?
I still struggle to see why Bengals let him go, because Bengals also don't have a good running game right now either.
I mean, what's his name? Chris Brown? Or not Chris Brown. What's his name? The running back for them. It's not Chris Brown. That's a rapper. Something Brown, right? Chase Brown. There you go. Chase Brown, right? He's doing a great job, man, to be honest with you. I mean, he's not doing that bad of a job.
Dude, he's tore it up when he was there.
I know. I'm surprised they traded him away. I was surprised with that too, because, now looking at it, Bengals not even contending, right? They're losing such a close games, and they're 3-7. So, but going back to Houston, man, they went all in, right? With Saquon and Nico and Mixon. So, I mean, Saquon's out, right? So that's tough blow. Obviously, Houston played well, but I still feel Houston.
Stephon Diggs,
Stephon Diggs, and I feel like Houston is like we'll win the division. We'll win the wild card first round game, and then they'll be eliminated the second round. What do you say?
Same. I mean, I just don't know if their offense is consistent enough. I know against the Cowboys, who had the worst defense in the league, like anybody looks good, right?
Yeah.
But their offense really struggled the last couple of weeks before the Cowboys. So I just don't trust it as much anymore. The defense has been better, and DeMeco Ryan is a good defensive coach. But I think the Texans will definitely win a division, like you said. But they'll probably get out of the wild card, if that. I don't know. AFC is a little loaded, so I don't know if they'll be able to get out of the wild
division
card even,
game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, I'm happy for the quarterback there. He's CJ Stroud. He's really making a lot of good changes. He struggled the first half of the year, and he's really picked it up. So I think he's got a
He
bright
did
future
struggle
as
coming out
well.
of the gate, man. I think because people were expecting, a little better year than last year. He had a remarkable rookie year, so people expected him to, take another step forward. But with all the acquisitions, they already had labeled on them saying going to how far can they go in the playoffs, because that team is good now, right? And the pressure was on. Last year they kind of were under the radar. They came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you don't know how Houston was going to do. Yeah. And this year they had expectations. So I mean, that definitely hurt him to play well in the beginning of the year, right? Like you said. So now he's comfortable.
Eventually, everyone starts to figure you out too. So, but the Cowboys wise, the last thing. I mean, I don't know if you saw, Jerry Jones had his little mini press conference that he does after every game.
I hate that.
About how some of the respect is not being pressed down. So he has expectation that he passes down to his coaches and his coordinators, but they don't listen to him. Running the ball even more than they can, even though they don't have a good running game at all. What do you make of that? I mean, I'm sure Mike McCarthy's gone, right? So how do you adjust that?
Honestly, I wouldn't pass anything past Jerry Jones. Knowing him, he'll probably sign Mike McCarthy with a 5-year deal again. Watch.
Oh God.
See, I hate Jerry Jones when he does that after the game. Stop making it about yourself. We understand you're the owner of the Cowboys. We understand that you're a billionaire owner. Stop making no owner does this. Not even in NBA, basketball, or baseball. Jerry Buss was one of the outspoken guy. He never had this kind of shit going on.
Right. Mark Cuban so involved.
Yeah, Mark Cuban never had interviews after every game. I mean, Mark Cuban's even more involved. Dude, Jerry Jones is a step away from the limelight, man. Let your players and coaches do the work and stop giving them the feedback. I mean, you're not expert at it. You didn't play the game, I mean, maybe you played the game in high school or college a little bit, but you didn't really play the game. So, stop giving your inputs, man.
Yeah, the best teams and the best leadership you see out there is when the person surrounds himself with people that are smarter than themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But Jerry Jones only surrounds himself with people that was a yes to him.
Oh.
So he'll put himself on a pedestal. I know what I'm doing. I'm a great basketball. I'm a baseball. I'm a football mind, and you guys will all listen to me, even though he doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, if he had another GM that made the same plays that he did or signings, he would have fired that GM months ago. But here he is still being his own GM.
Exactly.
So, it's so crazy to me.
The two people need to stay out of media, man, is Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons. Stop doing your podcast and making your team look bad. And Jerry Jones, stop getting interviewed after the game. Nobody wants to know your input. Who cares?
Yeah.
Let your players play and put less pressure on them, man. I hate when he does those interviews, man. It's stupidest shit ever.
That's true. All right, let's go through. For the rest of the game, before that, let's go through the winner from last week. Who won as far as our picks? I know I have a 3-week winning streak. So let's see.
Yes, sir, man. To recap, man, $5 a week, and my best friend Tapas here has been rolling, man. 3 weeks in a row since we started.
Easy.
Plus 15. Well, man, all good streak comes to an end, my brother. I won this week. So I won 4-2, and let's look at the teams I picked against you, right? So Thursday Night Football, DC versus Eagles, man. You picked the DC, I picked Eagles, and Eagles won that game. Browns and Saints, I picked the Saints. You had the Browns going. I got that one. Colts and Jets, I don't know what the hell Jets are doing, and they lost. So Colts, you got that, my brother. Ravens, Steelers got that. Falcons and Broncos got that. And my man, you got lucky with Chargers winning that game. Just letting you know with the Bengals. So 4-2. So you're plus 10. I'm starting a new streak, my man. Just letting you know. I am starting.
It's a 1 week dip, and then we'll be right back in it, man.
Man, dude. Let's start with the breaking news today, man.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So.
Yeah, dude, go for it.
The GM for the Jets, Douglas, it was fired. Joe Douglas fired today.
Yes, sir.
Coming off the loss for the Jets under the Colts. What are your thoughts, man? I mean, this is another person down in the Aaron Rodgers saga. What do you make of this?
Couldn't happen sooner, man. This is a disaster, man. First of all, he doesn't draft well. Why? I mean, he got Zach Wilson, right? I mean, he didn't play for a top college. I mean, but he still drafted him because they saw potential in him. They thought, he was going to be the next Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz played for a small major, not a big major school, so they thought he could be, the next Carson Wentz. But that turned upside down. He's the one who hired Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, I mean, was a coach. Robert Saleh is kind of like the guy from Texans. He's ready to coach a young team, ready to go battle. And they didn't give him that, right? And obviously he went ahead and traded for Rodgers, right? And also traded for Mr. Davante Adams. This is a disaster, man. To be honest with you, that was horrible.
Yeah, so. I think signing Rodgers and giving him whatever he wants, I think that didn't play well for Woody Johnson. I think he was really pissed off by everything, by how everything was handled.
No results, right?
No results. You fire a good defensive coach, and then you immediately drop to the 31st defense since you fired him. So like the defense completely dropped off.
Yeah.
The new coach was not ready to coach, right? The interim coach has no idea what he's doing. He's like, I think before last week's game, they had a meeting about tackling. Like you're teaching these, like professionals how to tackle the football. So you just know that either he doesn't believe that his team knows how to tackle properly, or he just doesn't know what to do with the way the defense is kind of just being so porous. I think this is a signal for sure that Rodgers is not gonna be coming back, because this will be whichever new GM comes in, they'll be like, I don't want this staying in my legacy with the Jets. I'm gonna have Rodgers get out of here. Davante's not gonna come back.
Hell yeah.
Let me cement my legacy new when I come here, because no one wants that carryover, right? This whole thing will die off with Joe Douglas and just say, you know what, Rodgers was his mistake. Everything was his mistake. Now let me get my hands on this franchise. I think this is pretty much the end for Rodgers.
It's a question you asked me last week, right? About how do you fix the Jets? Where does Jets go from here, right? And I think the signal is there now, right? It's a clear signal.
Yeah.
Because when you get rid of the GM's the one who actually constructed this team. So Woody Johnson is kind of signaling that, it's over. Meaning like we're gonna clear the deck and we're gonna start from scratch again. Meaning that now, like what you said, the new GM is gonna come. He's gonna have his fingerprints on it. He's gonna have his own hire head coach. He wants his own team that he's gonna be assessed for, not for what Joe Douglas built the team for, right? So obviously this is a great way for Woody Johnson to kind of indirectly tell Rodgers that thanks but no thanks.
Right.
Same thing with Davante Adams. Thanks, but no thanks. We enjoyed you here, but now we don't want you. So and he can easily blame it on the fact that we have a new GM and he wants to build a new team, and you can walk, and you can leave, and so that's basically the. I think it's done, man, for the Jets. I think Rodgers is gone, and I think Davante Adams is gone. I'll be so surprised if they try to make this work, because this is not gonna work, man.
It's not gonna work.
Rodgers is not Rodgers anymore, right?
So granted, like unless if Rodgers decides to be accountable, be a leader, and learn a new offense, because this is also an issue, is that this offense is so ancient, and this is the only offense that Rodgers is comfortable in, which is why they run it. And if he's able to go into a new style of offense where there's a lot of play action, some run pass options, all this stuff, like he's not used to this kind of stuff, so that's why they never do it. But if he's able to do it, then I would say, okay, give it another shot. But if again, knowing how Rodgers is, he's not going to be okay with that and be like, no, I'm going to do things my way, but I feel comfortable because I'm smarter than everybody else. And the GM is going to be like, okay, well, in that case, no, thank you. Like, we have a rookie coach, whoever it might be. Just leave our site, and we'll build around, because they have a lot of good talented players.
They do.
They have Breece Hall, they have Garrett Wilson, they have a really good defensive player in Quentin Williams. Like they're all young. You can build around that.
100%, and that's a great team, young nucleus, man. And you'll be getting essentially a top 5 pick, right, with the record going the way it is. So, I mean, honestly, man, to be honest, there's not a coach out there you can hire that'll command Rodgers' respect. I'll be honest with you. Name me a coach out there that's available right now that'll command Rodgers' respect, and there's none.
Right.
And Rodgers not going to work under someone who's not respectable. And so I really feel that Rodgers, his tender in Jets is over. And I honestly, man, that I shared with you, right? About staying on Jets, right? Between the 3 QBs, right? Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, and Rodgers, the winning percentages, right?
Yeah.
If someone had a guess, if someone just threw that out there, hey, these are the three quarterbacks for the Jets, and rank them from 1 to 3, who had the highest winning percentage, guarantee you 10 out of 10, they'll say Rodgers. But no, it's not, man.
Yeah, the highest percent, but he's the worst.
Zach Wilson's 34, 34 percentage. Sam Darnold's about 32 percentage, and then Rodgers is 28, man, winning percentage. You know how bad that is? You know what, man? This makes what Brett Favre did even remarkable, man. After he left Green Bay, not only he balled out, but he balled out for 2 different franchises, for Jets and Minnesota, right? Minnesota almost made the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the year they had Sidney Rice, and who stopped them, but they were on fire with that team, man. They had a fully loaded team with Minnesota. They played well. Even with Jets, they were a playoff, respectable team. They didn't become a disaster like how Rodgers is doing. So I don't know why people like automatically rush and put him in Mount Rushmore with all the greats. Dude, Rodgers is nothing. I'm telling you, he's good, but he didn't perform the way he's supposed to. What's your take, man?
I agree. I think as his career has progressed, from what it used to be, where like, oh yeah, he's like one of the best players of all time, best thrower of the football, all these things, and now people are just kind of tired of him. And I think the longer he's been in the league, the worse his reputation has gotten.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, like Devontae Adams, also his legacy is kind of ruined too, because he was supposed to be this top receiver, and like he like pretty much begged his way out of the Raiders, complaining and whining about the Raiders. And they've won more games while he's been gone than the Jets have. Yeah. And like the fact that, they just kind of threw their own legacy under the bus, essentially. I think that's been the biggest issue. And I mean, again, I'm not a biggest Aaron Rodgers fan, so it couldn't happen to a better person.
Exactly.
So
he's a douche,
I'm all
man.
here for it.
Yeah. Honestly. He throws all his teammates under the bus. He's all about him. He's not about team, man. Team aspect. I understand you want to be individual.
Where he goes. I mean, maybe what I was thinking. I know he really wants to be a Niner because that's where he also like
from there. I think Chico State. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if anything, hey, trade Brock Purdy, get him into Niners. And maybe he listens to Mike Shanahan, but I don't even think Mike Shanahan wants that headache.
Hell no, man.
He likes to be in control.
Hell no. I mean, he went to Chico. I mean, well, he was born and raised in Chico, and then he played for community college and went to Berkeley, and that's where he became Rodgers, right? But like I said, Niners, I do see it because Shanahan can kind of. But again, Shanahan has a system, man. I don't know about him playing in that system, man. So, you know what's the one team that will take a chance on him?
Who's that?
The GOAT is a partially owner there, man.
The Raiders?
Yes, they're all about making money, man. It's about money, right? In the end, right? Bringing him in is all about making money and being talked about, right? Because like I just want to be in negative or positive, they want to be talked about, right? And I can see that happen. They need something because they're in Las Vegas. Entertainment's there, so I can see him going to Raiders, man. That's another team I can see him. But I don't see Devontae Adams going back to the Raiders, though, for sure. So
I was gonna say, like, so Devontae gonna go back to the Raiders? Like, never mind. I'm all good here.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I can see Raiders.
I'm sure Antonio Pierce is probably like, no, I don't want you back anyways, dude.
Exactly, man.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what happens to Rodgers from now on. But yeah, I think firing on Joe Douglas definitely is an end to Rodgers' career in the Jets, at least.
100%.
We'll see what he does after that.
I think the next domino. I think the next domino is gonna be on the other side of the New York, man. I think the GM's gonna be gone soon. Watch.
Yeah.
Especially the way Saquon's performing.
They do a lot of soul searching, man. They're just a lost cause.
Next GM to be gone. Watch.
Yeah. Jeez.
Oh man, let's go through some of the games, man, from past Sunday, man.
So the big game for last week was definitely there were a few big games actually. But the first one was the Eagles and Commanders Thursday Night Football. Eagles winning this one by 8 points. The Commanders, I think, especially Daniels, looked kind of a little shaky, a little tight. I think the spotlight was a little too big on him. And the Eagles, I mean, Saquon is just a man possessed, and I'm happy for him. I'm not the biggest Eagles fan. I think Sirianni will eventually make the downfall, but yeah, dude, like the Commanders, this was a big game for them. I think they really overemphasized that, and they didn't play loose, which is what Jaden Daniels does really well.
You know what, man? This is a good thing and a bad thing for Commanders. Look, Commanders will make the playoffs, right? Unless they have a complete meltdown, right? Which I don't see that happening. Their schedule kind of softens a little, but I don't see the meltdown happening. They will make the wild card as one of the teams. They're not going to win that division because the Eagles are basically taking over that, right? Like you said, it was a little too big at the moment for them, especially for Daniels being the QB there, right? So this is a learning lesson, and it's a good learning lesson during the season. You can learn from it, right? Because when playoff comes around, every game is a spotlight. So this is a prep for him to get ready for playoffs, and now he kind of got a little juice for it, right? He's like, okay, this is how it is, because all everyone talked about was the showdown of NFC East, right? It's Commanders versus the Eagles. All week they talked about that first game, Thursday Night Football. You know, it's like the main game. So the game was a little too big, you know, and it's fine. It happens for a young team, you know. I mean, that's not a big deal, you know. But Eagles, on the other hand, are playing red hot, right? I don't know if it's Sirianni or if it's Saquon who's red hot. So definitely
Saquon has been on a tear.
Saquon is definitely making life easier for Sirianni right now, for sure. Sirianni is thanking the GM for signing him to that contract. Right. So because I think he might just saved his job because of Saquon, you know. But again,
well, I mean, he should really thank the New York Giants, because the Giants don't know what they're doing, and they let Saquon walk and keep, you know, Danny Jones.
And that's what I'm saying. Okay, so the next two games are real tests, you know. And they're playing at the Rams, and then they're playing at Baltimore. Don't laugh. Don't smile. All right. Remember, the Rams are 5-5. They're clicking at the right time. Everyone's back.
7-4. I mean,
everyone's back.
Better team.
hey. Last time there was a big showdown on Thursday Night Football. I remember you picked against my team against Minnesota, and they're coming off Minnesota was like 7-1. I think we beat their ass pretty good, you know. So not pretty good, but it was a close game. But we won. All right, man. That's all that matters. So this is gonna be another Sunday Night Football game, man. So it's going to be in Los Angeles, and so it's going to be... Okay, put it this way, man. The Rams are not going to be favored. Eagles are red and hot, but I will tell you that Rams will give a tougher matchup than Commanders did, because Rams are ready for it. They have more of a veteran squad out there. And then right after that, they travel to Baltimore, face against, you know, the hungry Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, man. That's gonna be a tough game. So this two games will kind of show that what way Eagles are trending, you know. And let's see if Sirianni gets in his own way, because he's going up against Sean McVay, man. The intelligence of offense, and maybe he wants to prove Sean McVay that he's a better offensive minded coach than Sean is, right? So he might take over and might make his own damn decisions and screw his team in the end, right? So I don't know. Eagles are playing well, man. I mean, let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens.
They're playing very well. Again, I think Sirianni is minimizing his impact in the game.
Yes.
But then you're right. You know, I think if he starts to feel like he wants to show up Sean McVay and be like, "Oh, I'm the next genius head coach," then probably they'll definitely lose. Then that's for sure.
100%, man.
I mean, the Commanders. I think this is a good bounce back game. They do play Eagles one more time later this year before the playoffs. So that'll probably be more of a playoff atmosphere. I think they'll be a lot more hungry to win that game. That'll probably be the big decision as far as who wins the division. That game will probably come out that game, I think.
Exactly.
All right, next up we got the Packers and the Bears. Packers won by 1 point, 20-19, on a blocked field goal. Back-to-back weeks we have blocked field goals. What are your thoughts, man? I mean, again, Caleb Williams looked really good on Sunday.
Yes.
You know, he looked better. He made better decisions. The new offensive coordinator. And again, Jordan Love just made some weird plays. I mean, this should not have been that close.
Oh man, honestly, I thought Packers was gonna just... I had Packers defense in fantasy, and they're going up against Chicago. I thought this was gonna be like a 14-point blitz on them, and like just win by like 2 touchdowns at least. But I guess firing the offensive coordinator helped Caleb a lot, because Caleb looks like a little different, man. Because he didn't do like check down throws. He did it, but not too many. He actually was being freely to throw the ball, and confidence was there, right? And so he played with a swag, and that's what people have been looking for past 10 weeks. Where the hell is the swag at? And it finally showed. And going up against a really good Packers team, they almost beat them. At one point, it was 14-19, man. And I remember that they had them, but they just couldn't close the door on them. And Packers just not playing, well enough, man.
Jordan Love gets really sloppy. I don't know what it is.
He does. And he gets all this credit, man, from last year, and which I damn hate, man. He got lucky, I'm not lucky. Okay, he played well after the bye week, and they made the playoffs. They beat stupid-ass Cowboys by blitzing their ass in the wild card game. And then they were up 10 against the Niners in the division game. They couldn't close the door. They lost. I want to see what Packers do this year, man, when they make the playoffs. Because we know they're going to be one of the wild card teams. Might win the division. Because they're right there with – actually, they won't. Detroit is taking that division. Sorry. Detroit's taking that division. Minnesota's going to take a wild card, and I think it's going to come down to, maybe Green Bay and other teams making the other wild card push,
Yeah.
And so if they do make the playoffs, I want to see how Jordan Love performs, man. And this year, they won't have the Cowboys there. They'll have a better matchup. It could be the Niners in this case. It could be I hope not Buccaneers. Then they'll whoop their ass through because NFC South is not that good. Yeah. So, but we'll see how they do, man. They make too much about Jordan Love and what he has done. Nothing much, in my view. So.
Yeah, it's just a Packers fans just think he's the next great one, and I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's all great.
He's Jeff Garcia, bro.
He makes a lot of mental mistakes. I think he gets a little too, cocky with his throws at times, especially in the end zone. Like he had another terrible pick in the end zone last game too. Like I don't know what it is that he just thinks that he can just have a home run play and be a highlight or something. But he's maybe a playoff loss again will probably humble him and bring him back down to earth. Maybe the Packer fans will also understand that too.
Finally, man. Like I said, man, I compared to Jeff Garcia of the Niners, right? Yeah, they had Montana, Steve Young, and then Jeff Garcia, dude. So.
Yeah, Jeff Garcia.
So this is how it is. The trend.
All right, next game we got the Lions blowing out the Jaguars 52-6. Jared Goff just great comeback from the previous week where he had 5 interceptions. This week he was just lights out. So
that's good. What are you supposed to do?
Vikings beat the Titans as expected.
Yes.
Dolphins beating the Raiders as expected.
Yes.
The Rams beating the Patriots as expected, pretty much, right?
A little closer than being comfort right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You still confident in that?
Yeah. That's fine.
You allow the Patriots to come back? You so confident?
The game was never out of hand, but we should have won little better, not be that close, winning. But Stafford had high praises for Drake Mays, man, the QB from the other side, saying that he's very talented and they got a good player on him, and for him to go out of his way and compliment him, that's huge for Pats. They need that. They haven't replaced Tom Brady yet, but he's not going to be the next Tom Brady, but they need some QB that can get him to the playoffs because they haven't sniffed playoffs ever since Brady left. So
yeah, especially with the other quarterback they had in between.
Brissett?
Drake May, Drake May looks way better than that. Then you got the Saints beating the Browns, kind of a surprise to me, but you picked them.
Yes.
And then now we have the Colts beating the Jets. People are talking about that.
It was so weird, man. Jets was winning the whole time, and then
Andrew Richardson ran for that touchdown. Just he looks like He looks like Cam Newton a little bit to me.
I don't know how you guys job back.
Physical running, right?
I don't know how you guys job back, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah. They had a team only meeting. I think they aired it all out, and Joe Flacco also has not been playing well, so that made it easier.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah. And then we got another game of the week, which was the Ravens and the Steelers. Steelers won this one by 2 with a weird game of where Justin Tucker misses 2 field goals. That never happens.
I know.
Otherwise, that would have been a game over for Steelers for sure. But I had the Ravens winning it. But this was a very good defensive matchup. I think the only thing the Ravens have to be grateful for in this, or silver lining in all of this, was that they held the Steelers down to only field goals. They had no offensive touchdowns, so that's pretty huge.
Honestly, man, this game was needed for Steelers more than the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think Baltimore is scared of Steelers, and no one is kind of in that division. In that whole conference. Even though Steelers is 7-2, I think their record is. It's a little deceiving, man. Honestly, when push comes to shove in the playoffs, if Baltimore does face Steelers again, I think Baltimore's gonna win in that game. But I mean, I don't take too much of it. In Baltimore, they lost. I like what Tomlin did there a little in the fourth quarter, under 2 minutes. He had a chance to ice the game, and the way he did it is took out Russell and put in what's his name, the other QB in Justin Fields. There you go. And it was like 3rd and short, and he put in Justin Fields, and then he kind of ran with it. It was kind of like what they do with Taysom Hill, right? New Orleans. Yeah. It was a Sean Payton, playbook right there. And so that kind of tricked them a little. So that was a good victory by them. But overall, man, Steelers are good. Again, I don't see them going farther, man. And Baltimore will take care of business when it's time to, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if they play them again in the playoffs, for example, I think the Steelers will definitely lose to the Ravens. Ravens had that weird play though where they were trying to go for a 2-point conversion, and that was just a weird messed up play.
I don't know what they were doing.
They didn't have Derrick Henry out there, and Lamar just kind of fell right into a whole gap of people. So that was really interesting. But yeah, they do play again later this year, so I think that'd be a huge game. Probably will be the division winner from that.
Exactly.
Then we got the Broncos blowing out the Falcons. I think the Falcons are trending downward. Do you think they win that division, or do you think the Saints or the Buccaneers come up?
They're a little further to catch them, but Bucks are right there, man. I mean, they're getting Mike Evans back hopefully by next week, and I have more faith in Baker than Derek. So, or even the other guy from Falcons. What's his name?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins right now.
Don't you disrespect Kirk Cousins like that?
He's good. But then how do you lose?
QB.
How do you lose against the Broncos, man? Just tell me that, man. How do you?
Hey, they're 6-5. They're a good team.
I know, man. This is a team that even though you're playing in Denver, high altitude, you should win that game.
Yeah,
man,
you can't lose to Bo Nix like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a rookie QB, man. I mean, if you're Kirk Cousins, you should just make circles around this guy, man.
Yeah.
So, but it's a toss up in that division for NFC South, So.
All right, then the next game, which I'm sure you loved, which was the Seahawks and the Niners. Seahawks win this one 20-17. Everyone is not everyone besides Cardinals. Everyone's 5-5, so the Rams are in second place because of the tiebreaker situations. Niners, Cardinals, man, they're right. The Niners. What do you think about them? Are they okay? Do you think this is a beginning of the end for them?
I mean, it's definitely not beginning of the end for them. But man, that game was good. I was watching that game because Rams played the 10:00 slot today at that time, and then they had the 1:00 slot. So I watched the ending of that game. And Niners were up, and my boy Gino got the ball with 2 minutes to go. And one of my good friend Ahmed Jazwa is a huge fan of Seattle, and I was rooting for them. Seattle. I was saying, let's see if your boy comes through, and he had no faith either, because he's not a Gino fan either.
I like that.
But I was just like, God damn, he better come through. But they went down the field against the Niners defense, and Gino scored. Man, he went out and he scored. He flat out scored, and that was a big victory in San Francisco. Doing that, the performance they had, it was good. And Niners shouldn't be losing this type of games. I mean, to be honest, I know they didn't have Kittles. Yeah, I understand that. But they had McCaffrey there. McCaffrey doesn't play. McCaffrey does not look like the same McCaffrey from last year. Debo out there, and then Juan Jennings did really well, man. That's a good receiver they have. But I mean, they had everyone else. Ayuk is out for the year, so you can't say much about that. But dude, Niners, I don't know, man. I mean, people still think that Niners have the chance to make the Super Bowl, but who knows, man?
They have the fourth best odds still.
I know, man. I don't know, but honestly, NFC is up for grabs. I thought that it was gonna be the Eagles and Niners to lose, but now, man, they're not looking invincible, man. I mean, any team can beat anybody now. So for NFC, man, if Atlanta comes out of it, I wouldn't be surprised, or Minnesota comes out of it with Sam Darnold. I'm not surprised, man, because it's not like AFC where you have KC, Bills, and Baltimore. It's not like that, But everyone's even. So I mean,
I think the Lions are probably they're the top favorite now. They just got ahead of.
Oh yeah, I forgot what Lions.
The Chiefs.
Lions
are
I apologize
best
for
team
that.
to beat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think outside of them, you're right. I think Philly maybe. Niners. I honestly don't. I think They make a playoff, but they don't make any noise.
You're right. You're right. I
Because
forgot about the Lions. Yeah, I forgot about the Lions.
I think
Lions stacked.
McCaffrey is still a little iffy.
Yeah.
I think he's not fully trusting his Achilles yet. Because it didn't tear. So
no,
but there is a high chance it could. So that's why he's taking a little bit easier. So I don't know, man. The Niners have 2 tough games. They have the Packers and the Bills next. I think they beat the Packers, but I think they lose to the Bills after that. Or if they lose both games, I would just say, you know what, just call it a season, let McCaffrey sit, and just run it back next year. You already signed all the big players anyways. You got all the team you wanted.
Exactly.
You just rest them. If they drop 5 and 7, just call it a season. No point in pushing it any forward, you know.
Or because like if McCaffrey tears his Achilles, man, he's out for the year.
You don't want to
man.
risk it.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I forgot. Then, yeah, go ahead.
You know, because you tear the Achilles, for example, then you'll miss him for the entire next year too. Versus if you just call it a season this year and say, you know what, forget it, and then just go ready for next year, then I think that's probably a better bet for them. But
I agree with you.
2 big games. I think that'll be determining factor for them.
But this was a divisional game, right, man? This is what I'm talking about. Cardinals are 2-0, and the Rams are 2-1, and Niners and Seattle are both 1-2, I think. You know, and something like that. And so I think this division is going to be won by the divisional games, and because everyone's going to have very similar records, and it's going to come down to, you know, who had a better divisional, you know, record, and that's going to win the division in my case. So Seattle winning this, splitting, you know, head to head with Niners is huge in my view, you know, and Niners losing and being 1-2 in divisional is huge, you know. That's bad, man. They're not supposed to be like this. But you are right, man. I forgot about Lions. Lions gonna take this freaking conference like no other.
I think they'll do the NFC pretty easily. Yes. All right, then we got the Chiefs losing to the Bills, so no undefeated season for them. The Bills just looked, you know, unstoppable in that game. Josh Allen had that amazing 4th and 2 run to win the game and seal it. The Chiefs are I mean, they look good. But they do seem to be struggling on offense a little bit this year. Their defense has kind of carried them for most of their victories this year. But yeah, what do you think about this game? Was it huge for the Bills or was it for the Chiefs losing?
Dude, 100%, bro. Like we talked about, it was huge for the Bills, man. Like you knew that Bills needed this mentally. And I understand that Bills have beat KC in previous years in the season, but still, man, it doesn't get old to kind of just see if your current roster can beat this team when it comes to playoffs, right? Winning it this year is different because they have a new roster. They don't have Stephon Diggs. They don't have like a couple of players. You know, they're missing. You know, they're gone, right? So winning, it was huge, and the way they did it, the fashion they did it, right? They're up by 2. They could have hit a field goal to make it a full possession without what Casey had to score a touchdown to win the game, not a field goal. But it was the 4th and short. It was like 4th and 2 or 4th and 3, and you know, Sean McDermott and you know, they decided that, you know, let's go for it. It was like it's about 2 minutes, under 2 minutes to go, and they went for it. And not only did they get a first down, but the fashion that, you know, he got that touchdown. He just ran through.
It's crazy.
It's huge. Josh Allen, what he did right there was huge. Mental standpoint, man. I mean, with the fashion they won, right? They didn't want to. They kind of felt that, look, even if we're up by 5, giving, you know, Pat Mahomes a minute, he'll score. You know.
Yeah.
So they're like, let's just go ice the game, and they did. And so I give big props to Bills. They needed this game, and they won. They showed up. They didn't lay an egg, man. So it's huge for them, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know, this is definitely a good win for them. The biggest test will be when they face each other in the playoffs to see, you know, can they do it again? That's because that's always been the issue. Like Josh Allen has defeated Pat Mahomes every time they played in the regular season, but then he lost every time they played in the postseason. So like, I think that this is where the true test will come. And I think Josh Allen has been playing a lot better this year. I think, you know, when we talk about our preseason predictions, I was a huge advocate of Stephon Diggs leaving. You know, it was addition by subtraction, and I think he just feels like he's playing a lot more freer. He's not forcing things, which is why he's not having as many turnovers as he used to in the past.
Right.
Because I think he was trying to force the ball to Stephon because he probably knows Stephon's going to bitch him if he doesn't throw the ball. So like, I think he just feels like, you know, with some of the younger rookie and like Shakir's playing really well, all of them, I think he just feels a lot better. I think once you get Kincaid back,
they won without him too. That's huge.
once they get him back, I think they'll be a
Yeah.
lot more dangerous.
Yeah.
So that was a good game for sure.
And for Chiefs, it was a great loss for them. A great loss. If you're gonna lose against Bills, man, I mean, that's fine. You lost a good hard and far game, and they got that one loss out of the way. You don't want, like you said, you don't want to have that pressure going to the playoffs and going undefeated, right? Because then there's shit. It's like you don't want to like choke. So it's good they got that loss out of the way. And I mean, they'll probably lose another game or so here, but now there's no pressure, going into the playoffs. They're gonna win that division. Hopefully, I mean, Chargers are right there, man. 7-3.
Chargers are creeping up, man.
They're 7-3, and so they're 2 games back now. They face each other soon, so that's gonna be a great game, man.
And so if they lose one game and Chargers beat them in that game, like I think, they fall into the wild card. It's kind of crazy.
Exactly, man. So
but we'll see how that turns out. And then speaking of Chargers, we had them beating the Bengals. That was a crazy game. I watched the whole. I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched the first half. Chargers were complete dominant mode. Bengals looked so dejected out there. And then second half came and they just came back with a vengeance. Joe Burrow had 3 straight touchdowns to tie the game. Potentially could have had another opportunity, but then they went 3-0, and Chargers had that winning drive with J.K. Dobbins going for a rushing touchdown. But I mean, this is the Harbaugh effect, right? He's a very accountable coach, a very good coach. He knows not to make these mental decisions that will hurt his team. Unlike Staley, Staley would have definitely lost this game, maybe even gotten blown out.
Staley, the ghost.
Because Brandon Staley was such a bad coach who believed in analytics a little too much, versus Harbaugh, who believes his gut a little bit. So good win for Chargers. Honestly, they needed it.
They were up 27-6, man. And I felt like, that Brandon Staley ghost returned or something, man. That ball got possessed with or something, man, because that was a tie game.
That was scary.
With 5 minutes to go, it was 27-27 all, man. And, this is a thing, right? This is a lot of people ask me, right? Coaches don't matter. Coaches' decisions don't matter. Yeah, it does. Where it matters is one hand you have Sean McDermott from Buffalo, and I forget the name of the Cincinnati coach, who's really good too. You have him on the other hand, right? Yeah, and so they were both in a similar situation, right? It was about a minute and like 30 left, minute 20, whatever it was left. And McPherson, right, who's a really good kicker, right, who doesn't really miss. 2 minutes earlier, he missed a 48-yarder. And fast forward under a minute to go, the field goal would have been a 51-yarder. What Sean McDermott did for the Bills when they were 4th and short, they said, let's go for it because it's the best chance it gives us to win the game. And they went for it. Instead of getting a first down, they got a touchdown out of it, right? The goal was to get a first down. Cincinnati's time came where, the coach decided that, fine, even though my kicker missed the 48-yarder, I still have hope that he'll make a 51-yarder. I mean, if you're a coach, if you think my kicker just literally missed a 48-yarder, it wasn't like he missed it in third quarter or second quarter. It literally missed it 2 minutes ago. So it's still fresh in his mind. What makes you think that he's going to make the 51-yarder, right? Yeah. In that case, they were 4th and I think it was 4th and 5 or 4th and 6 or something. It was something like that. And you have Joe Burrow, who's playing well enough. Made a huge comeback. Once you put the ball in his hand, with Jamar Chase he was going off too. Why not just let him make the decision? So this is where coaching matters, right? This is where coaching decision matters, right? If they would have went for it, because I'll be honest with you, Cincinnati needed this game more than the Chargers needed this game.
Oh, 100%.
Cincinnati was 3-6.
Yeah.
Chargers were 6-3. Chargers can lose a game here and there. It's fine, and they'll be fine. By losing this game, Cincinnati only has 10% chance to make the playoffs, and they have a good squad. A really good squad to contend, and they're not going to probably make the playoffs, right? They end up losing this game. So I'm just telling you, man, coaching decision really matters, man. And they should have went for it and not have the 51-yarder and miss it and then have Justin Herbert go through and Dobbins score, So it kind of ruined their season right there, man.
Yeah, and the offense was red hot. So, like, you ride that momentum, right? Like,
exactly.
You have 21 straight unanswered points. You just keep going. You know what? Exactly. We're on a roll. Let's keep going, versus trying to play it safe.
Exactly.
And something's in the water because a lot of kickers are missing their kicks now. So why not just go for it, right? And you're right. So I think to kind of go back to what we talked about earlier. Cincinnati, I think their next game is huge for them. They're playing the Steelers on December 1st.
Yeah.
They lose that game, I think they just call it a season.
Yes.
Let Joe Burrow rest. You already signed everybody you needed to. You just come back next year even better.
Agree.
Because obviously Joe Burrow is still a little lingering with his hand.
Yes.
But yeah, next season, because if they lose, they go down to 4-8. No chance of winning it for sure then. But at least if you beat the Steelers, you do have some life left in your season. Because then you play the Cowboys, Titans, Browns. Potentially you can go 3-0, so go 4-0, make a comeback. But next game, if they lose it, I would just say forget it.
I agree.
Just sit everybody down and just come back next season.
Exactly, more healthy, man. So that was a weird game, though. But I mean, it was an exciting game, and you are going to a Chargers game. So I mean, next week. So hopefully that's a good one for you, man, against Baltimore.
Yeah, Ravens Chargers, baby, fun. But let's go to next week's predictions. I got to get my money back, so this should be pretty good.
Man. All right,
I got Thursday Night Football. We have Steelers and Browns. This is going to be in Cleveland. Steelers are favored by 3.5 points only. Surprising. But give me the Steelers.
Steel City, bro. Steelers all the way.
All right, I got the Vikings and the Bears in Soldier Field. Minnesota is favored by 3.5 points. Give me the Vikings.
Vikes, man. There's no way. I'm not choosing against them, man.
All right, we got the Colts and the Lions playing. Lions are favored by 7.5 in Lucas Oil Stadium. Give me the Lions. They're super red hot right now.
% man. They're playing well, man. They give me Lions too as well.
We got another game. We got the Patriots and the Dolphins, which probably no one's going to watch. Miami's favored by 7. And give me Miami here.
Miami needs it, man. They're on a 2-game winning streak, and they're trying to make the playoffs with, Tua coming back. So give me the Dolphins as well, man.
That might be a little too late, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I got the Giants and the Buccaneers. Giants are about to start their second string Tony DeVito out there against the Buccaneers. But give me the Buccaneers here, man.
I'm here, man. Bucks all the way, bro. I'm not sure Tony DeVito.
All right, we got the Commanders and the Cowboys in Northwest Stadium. Commanders are favored by 10 points here. Give me the Commanders for sure.
Commanders are on a 2-game losing streak. What a great way to get back on the roll in a winning streak against the Cowboys.
They need the bye week,
they got it, man. They'll get it. They'll win this.
All right, they got the Chiefs and the Panthers in the bye week for the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs for sure.
Same here, man. Chiefs. There's no way. No way.
Yeah. Texans and the Titans in Houston. Texans are favored by 8 points here. Give me the Texans.
Same here, man. Texans all the way.
Broncos Raiders. Broncos are favored by 5.5 points in Vegas. Give me the Broncos.
Broncos, man. There's no way I'm pushing the Raiders in this one, man. Broncos will get this.
All right. Man. This is where we start to differentiate. Okay, so now we got the 49ers and the Packers. This is going to be in Lambeau Field. Packers are favored by 2.5 points, but give me the 49ers.
Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack,
you sound
go.
Your brother, Mac. I don't need none of the Packer fan in your bed.
Oh, man, I got the Packers here, baby, being the Niners. And Niners are going to be last place, boy. Next week, watch.
It's a huge
last
game.
Place.
Huge
last
game.
Place.
All right, then we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Cardinals are Seahawks favored by 1 point because they're playing at home.
Yeah.
This is a tough game. Give me the Cards here.
Oh, changing.
Yeah. Give me the Cards.
Okay. All right. We have Seattle on that one. That's fine. Okay, I'll put that in. I got Seattle.
Cards.
I got Seattle. I need Seattle to beat the Cards.
I think Geno Smith will cost them this game for sure.
I need Seattle.
Got the Eagles and the Rams in SoFi. Give me the Eagles.
Whose house? Rams house, baby. There's no way we're losing this shit, bro. It's an upset. The winning streak is over.
Tough game,
Saquon is gonna be done running, bro. Done.
Wait, you guys have one of the worst run defenses in the league.
Well, we will stop him. We will stop his ass. Give me the Rams, baby. The Rams.
Tough. All right, then you got the Ravens and the Chargers in SoFi on Monday Night Football. Give me the Chargers here.
Dude, get out of here, man. Baltimore's going to take this shit, man. Are you kidding me? You go to that game and you're going to choose against Lamar and King Henry? Come on, man.
Get out of here. Man. It's a Harbaugh effect, dude. A Harbaugh effect.
We got 4 games we're splitting, man. So let's see. It could be 2-2. It could be 4-0, or it could be 3-1. Let's see what happens.
Heck yeah. Let's see what happens. All right, let's get into some basketball.
Yes, sir.
Lakers, first and foremost. We got Lakers are 9-4.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're going to be playing the Jazz tonight, right? So it should be a pretty easy win. What are your thoughts so far, man? JJ Reddik, Coach of the Year. We good?
Not
We're locked
yet,
in.
man. Not yet. What the hell? Slow your roll. I'll tell you one thing though. Dalton Connect, if he keeps it up, he'll win Rookie of the Year. I'll put it in, lock it in. I'll tell you that right now.
I am very impressed with him. I
He's
knew he
playing
would
well.
be good, but I didn't think he'd be this good.
I mean, if you're the NBA, right, and if you're the New Orleans Pelicans, how are you kicking yourself right now? Because if you're the NBA, okay, when I say we win the NBA, you got 16 other teams who could have drafted Dalton Connect. Everyone's draft board said that Dalton Connect was a top 10 player. Top 10 player coming out of college. The reason, what's the reason he didn't get selected top 10 or even higher?
Why is that?
Because he played 3 years in college, 4 years in college.
I played too much in this thing.
Because there's no sky for improvement or potential to become something, right? He was already established player. And that's the reason he dropped. Because they rather take a chance on a 20-year-old than a 22 or 23-year-old, right? And that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. And so he dropped all the way to 17. And the reason why I say the Pelicans is because Lakers still owe one more draft picks to the New Orleans Pelicans for the Anthony Davis trade. And they had a choice to either take the 2024 pick or defer it to 25. And before the draft, they communicated with the NBA saying that we're going to defer it and we're going to take the next year's because the Lakers made the playoffs and that good record, so they thought they're going to suck next year in 25, which doesn't look good. And they could have had Dalton Connect too in this hand. So New Orleans lost, everything, man. So
New Orleans is also not managing. I mean, they got Zion off for a few weeks again. I mean, the dude's lost, right? He's not going to live up to his potential.
No.
That organization itself doesn't know what they're doing. They don't draft very well. So I'm hyped for Lakers though. Honestly, I think Dalton Connect has been the biggest improvement for our team. I think him potentially coming off the starting out lineup will be good because I think LeBron needs shooters around him.
Exactly.
AD will love to have shooters around him so he can dominate the post. But I think the Lakers are definitely very, very impressive.
They're third in the West, man, and so they're behind Golden State, right there too. Golden State playing well too, but Lakers, I mean, 13 games in. 9-4, which is great. If they were 4-9, the role will be ending. Everybody will be talking shit about JJ Reddik being LeBron hire. No one's talking about LeBron hire right now. So that's great because they're praising JJ Reddik for his coaching style, which coming into the season, that's what he should have been graded for, and not be LeBron hire. Obviously, podcast did not help. I mean, it did help. Podcast helped him, but I like the adjustments that Reddick has made. So far. He got frustrated with D'Angelo, and our bench score was pretty last. So what he made was he put D'Angelo to the second unit because D'Angelo is also a scorer as well and can boost up that second unit as well. And he started Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish was just a filler until Jared came back. I don't know when the hell Jared's going to come back, but until Jared came back. But then what happened was Cam Reddish got injured. It was easy to put back D'Angelo back into starting lineup, but no, JJ actually went and put in the rookie Dalton Connect for the last 2 games. And Dalton Connect, the last game he had like 27 points against Pelicans, and I think he had 18 points against the Spurs. So he's played well. And now I feel that Jared shouldn't even come in the starting lineup. It should be Dalton Connect. The way the way the lineup is going well. And so, I mean, I feel like you said, Connect complements AD and LeBron much better with Austin Reeves out there because you need another shooter. And Austin Reeves is a good shooter too. And then you put Connect out there. I mean, when you go double LeBron or AD and when they swing it out and Dalton's right there or Austin Reeves right there, ready to shoot the ball, man, that's what you need. And that'll be great for them, man. So 9-4 is a great start. We were on a 5-game winning streak. And we beat teams we were favored against. But that doesn't dismiss anything because if we would have lost a team that we were favored against, people will be taking the other way. So we got to beat the teams that are in front of us, and we're doing that, which I love. And we're beating the teams that we're supposed to beat. Our schedule will get tougher next week against the Suns and some teams out there. So it's fine. Let's see how we do, But 9-4 is a great record. We haven't been above 500 for a while, man. Especially not under Darvin Ham's regime at all. So it's great to be above 500, 5 games. So I'm happy.
Yeah, I think Reddick's been doing a pretty good job. The only caution I have right now is just the usage of AD.
Yeah.
He's playing the most he's played as a Laker. So I think his average minutes at least. So I think just knowing his injury history, I always kind of, cringe whenever I see him go on the floor or like, make some weird plays, because it's just knowing that, we are kind of revolved around his performance. I mean, he's having 31 points, 11 rebounds per game. So like we depend on him a lot. I think I would just see if Reddik would just back off a little bit of using him too much. Like team like
I agree.
Utah and Orlando, just back off. They're not competitive teams.
Exactly.
Maybe 25 minutes for those two teams, and then against Denver, Phoenix, play him the full, right? So like I think just using him that way might be more wiser than making him play over 30 minutes every.
We're missing two big guys right now, man. We're missing Jackson Hayes. Unfortunately, got injured during the practice, and Christian Woods, right, who hasn't been back. He should be back in December, they said. And Jackson Hayes, I don't know what happened. I think he fractured his leg or something. I don't know. Something happened to him in practice, so he's out for a while. And so we don't have any big mans right now. And Chris Calopo, who we signed from Toronto, made his debut, and he played in good spurts, so he can maybe relieve AD. But you are right, AD is playing 34 minutes. That's a little too much. If they can bring it down to like 5 more minutes down, like 29, 30 minutes, I don't mind, But 34
or save it for like post second half, make him play more games, man. Just get him warmed up. But it's just, he's so injury prone that I just kind of worry.
I agree.
That he'll be worn out towards the end. But
I agree, man.
Nonetheless, Lakers off to an impressive start. They are going to be putting up Pat Riley's statue.
Can't wait.
This came out yesterday.
Yes.
Huge for Lakers. I think much deserved for sure. I'm waiting to see when Phil Jackson comes out as well.
Exactly. I mean, he's the one who brought Showtime, to LA with Magic, right? I mean, even though Magic won that championship in '79, it was a long delay, and then Magic, with Pat Riley, won 4 more after that, 3 more, that was great in 2005. So I was happy. And Pat Riley, he's an outstanding coach and outstanding, GM/president as well. I mean, as you can see, what he's done in Miami, right? He has won it with Shaq, and he has won it with LeBron as well in Miami, and so which says a lot. And so, I mean, he's well deserved, man. Pat Riley was a great coach for the Lakers. He was here for about I want to say good 6 years or so, 7 years as a coach for the Lakers, and won about 4 championships. You can't ask more than that, man. That's great. Put Lakers back on the map, and can't wait when they put Phil back, man. I mean, Phil needs it too, because if it wasn't for Phil, man, I mean, bringing that triangle back and bringing that, swagger and fixing Shaq and Kobe, because Shaq and Kobe previously played together and then he played well together. And, he's the one who kind of glued them together, with their egos aside, and won 3P, right? So, I mean, I'm glad they Pat Riley, but they should work on Phil Jackson. The other thing I want to say is that the next player that should have a statue is Paul Gasol, man. I mean, without him, we wouldn't win a championship. So hopefully they think about that. They should
make it like the statue will be like next to Kobe and Gigi, something.
Yeah, that would be great.
Right, because even now, I think Powell is taking that uncle role very seriously and being very supportive of the Bryant family. So I think they can, and he was a big Kobe's best friend. I think he understood how Kobe played. He understood his intensity and his work ethic. I think I agree with you. I think Powell should be the next.
That'll be perfect, man. Next to Gianna and Kobe, that'll be perfect, man.
Yeah,
that'll be good. So, but let's go around the NBA really quick, man. I mean, I want to get your opinion on a few things, man. What do you think about Philly being the last place in the East, bro? 2-11, tied with the Wizards. Give me your opinion on that, man.
Well, I mean, for me, we have a buddy that's a big Philly fan, and he was super hyped about them, and I told him, like, dude, don't get your hopes up, man. Podcast T is a podcast T for a reason. Like the dude, he's like Micah Parsons of the NBA. Like he's all about his podcast. He wants the clicks. And I don't know if you saw that there was a news that broke out this morning from Shams about the Philly after they lost last night. They had a players and coaches meeting yesterday for an hour and a half, where Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid for not showing up to practices on time. And he needs to be there early, and he needs to be there on time at all time, because I think for the Heat game, they weren't sure. He was listed as doubtful, and no one knew if he's going to play or not. And then he literally showed up an hour before and was like, all right, I can play. And then they're like, well, you missed shoot around, you missed all these things. And he's like, well, I can play. So and then he played. And I mean, obviously they had double-digit lead yesterday, and they completely vanished and lost by double digits. So that's huge, man. I mean, imagine
third
rookie,
star,
but like a young player calling out the former MVP.
Your main guy out, man, your franchise out, right? It starts from the top, man. And honestly, I was kind of with our buddy. Philly was loaded, man, with Paul George and Embiid, right? Because Paul George was a perfect fit for Maxey and Embiid. That's what I felt that way, right? But he's not looking like he is. Paul George is shell of himself, and Embiid, man, I don't know what's wrong with him, man. Like, honestly, man, I'm glad that Embiid's getting a reality check because he talks so much, man. He needs to shut the hell up and play, right?
This is why a lot of people don't like Philly. Like, and I tell my buddy, like our buddy says all the time, like, everyone just hates Philly. We don't hate Philly. We just hate Embiid.
Exactly.
Because he's such an arrogant a-hole that he thinks he's so good.
Yeah.
And he cried his way to an MVP.
Of course.
And even in the offseason, he's talking about like, oh, I've done so much for this city. Like, what have you done? You've won MVP, but you haven't gotten any sort of meaningful playoff wins. You haven't even made the championships. Like, you've done nothing for them. AI has done so much for your team and all that stuff. Like, this guy is just so like arrogant about how he is. And he also played a lot harder for Team USA than he has for 76ers. And he had no injury in between Team USA and Sixers season. And all of a sudden now he's not healthy enough to play. I don't understand what happened there.
And he already comes out and says, I'm not going to play back-to-back. I'm going to save it for the playoffs. It's like, dude, first of all, don't talk about playoffs because your team is last place right now. You're not going to sniff the playoffs. So why don't you get your ass to play regular season games, make your team worthy of the playoffs, and then talk about the playoffs, I mean, the reason why Duncans and Kobe's and LeBron's got sat out is because that team already clinched the playoff berth. I understand if your team already clinched the playoff berth and you want to take some days off, that's fine. You deserve it. You worked your ass off for the first 60 games, and the next 20 you can actually play with it and be like, I'm not gonna play here because my leg hurts or my arm hurts. Embiid's an idiot. Eats McDonald's and out of shape and like expects to be, it's like, no, man, get out of here, dude.
And,
so
besides Boston, the East is wide open. Like I know right now Cleveland's 15-0. They're off to a hot start, but I know they're kind of like they're not gonna be sustainable for a very long time, that's for sure. But like the East is very open, so like they could easily be a second, third best team.
They should have been though.
Yeah, on paper they should be.
I mean, come on, they got Paul freaking George, dude.
Yeah.
With Embiid, with Maxey still being there, like, what are you doing being 2-11? Like, honestly, at first I thought, when Kobe was playing and like not starting off well was okay, we'll recover. But I remember that year with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, Lakers started off so poorly, and Kobe had to play so many minutes where he tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
He was done after that, so it's like, shit's gonna happen, man. You gotta catch up and make the playoffs. It's gonna come and get you, man. So it's like,
and this all stems back from Jimmy Butler talking about how lazy Embiid is at times. He also hated Embiid's work ethic. He hated Karl Anthony Towns as well, but like, he just hated how these big men's work ethic was just like, I'm just gonna show up and just try to dominate
because they're big and they can overpower, and that's what they are, man. And so man. I mean, I'm glad they're getting reality check in their last place, because they need to, because they're not supposed to be. The owner went out and spent money and got Paul George, man. And Podcast P sucks, man. I mean, what is he doing?
You know what's funny? Like, this team, and I was telling our buddy the same thing. Like, this team need a true facilitator. They need a point guard, and James Harden fit that role better than Paul George has.
Yeah,
it's like, because Tyrese Maxey is a pure shooting guard,
exactly,
and they're trying to make him into a point guard, which he's not. He's a turnover machine. Yeah. Especially in the last season playoff, he turned the ball over in crucial moments that lost him the game. Like, they need a true facilitator. Like, James Harden would have been a perfect fit. Yeah. And then have Tyrese Maxey be a shooting guard that he is, and that would have been better. But now they let him walk, and they have Podcast P coming in, which is not even a good defensive player anymore, just chucking up threes left and right. And when you have someone like Embiid, who's also the same way, they both are just going to play off each other.
And he had a hyperextended knee. That's it. It was a major injury in the preseason. So he's acting like he's coming from a major injury or something. I mean,
Achilles and the guy. Yeah.
I don't know, man. They're done for it, man. But Cleveland is 15-0. They're playing Boston tonight. That's gonna be a good one. I want to see how that goes. Let's see if they go 16-0 or they lose their first game. In the West, you have OKC, how everyone predicted they're going to have the best record. They're 11-3. I think they're going to sustain that. OKC will sustain that. But Chet Holmgren being out for a while now, that's a huge blow for them. Warriors are 10-3 and Lakers are 9-4. Those two teams, I don't see them being 2-3. I'll be shocked if they are 2-3.
So who do you think catches up right now? I mean, I know the Nuggets are pretty low. Suns are 5th place. Who do you think catches up then?
The Nuggets, I'm not scared of anymore. Okay, they lost too many good players. They lost Caldwell Pope. They're not the same team since then, right? They have Westbrook. Is gonna be disaster anywhere he goes. I do feel like okay. So Golden State and Lakers being 2 and 3 isn't. They have to be one step lower. I think Lakers and Golden State will be 3 and 4, but I think Phoenix will jump over them. I think Phoenix still has that team and around them, and with Durant and Booker. And I don't know how much you can depend on Beal, but like I think that team is still a little better overall than the other two teams. But I think the West overall has gotten weaker, man. Sacramento 8 and 7. What the hell are they doing, man? Memphis 8 and 6. Like, what's happening? Minnesota, after they traded Towns away, I already knew they were weak.
They got worse.
Dallas Mavericks, man, 7 and 7. I told people I think so. I told people last year that was a fluke making the finals. That was a big fluke.
No.
And you know what? And I'll tell you right now, and Clay will regret that decision. Clay thinks that Dallas gave him a better chance to make the finals than the Lakers. Dude, if you give me AD and LeBron healthy, Tapas, be honest with you. If you have AD and LeBron healthy, what team has a better chance of making the finals? Dallas with Kyrie and Luka, or AD and LeBron being healthy?
Mavericks.
Oh my gosh. Come on. Dude. Are you even a Laker fan? Are you? What
I
are
am,
you?
But Mavericks are a better team, man.
Dude, if you got AD and LeBron, if they're two of the top 10 players in the NBA right now.
But you're asking me which team.
But
constructed team. I mean,
okay.
If you're doing 2-on-2, if you're going Kyrie and Luka,
no.
Of course.
Overall. That at the same time, you can look at the record. I know that they'll be back in top 5, but I don't know top 6. I don't know where they're gonna be, but I do feel West. I'll be honest with you, is wide open. Anyone can come out. I'll be honest with you, man.
I feel like besides Boston, I have no faith in any other team winning it all. Like Boston is just in another tier of themselves, and everybody else is like fighting for barely second place.
Boston will beat themselves if they get injured.
Yeah.
Boston is just
too
good.
For sure.
Boston, I mean, I still think Boston repeats, but in the West coming out, man, I can see anyone coming out. I can see freaking Golden State Warriors coming out, even without Clay. That'll be funny as hell. I can see the Lakers coming out, to be honest with you, man. Competing. The West is open. There's not a clear cut like how East is, you know? East has a clear cut favorite to come out, and that's Boston Celtics. Look, it's like Boston and everyone else. It's kind of like the NFC. It's kind of like the NFC conference. You have the Lions and everybody else.
Everyone else,
I'm just being honest with you. And the West is so wide open, man. Anyone can come out. And so that's what I like about the West right now in the NBA. So that's why I'm really happy with the Lakers. The Lakers can make tweaks here and there that they need. They'll be good. And I think what's the bet we made? $100 or what was it? I forgot. The Lakers.
Oh, for playing it? I thought it was 20.
Oh, I thought it was 100, but whatever. We are recording.
You want 100. I said 20.
Okay, fine, whatever. But look, whatever the case is, I'm looking good right now. I'm happy.
Yeah, no, you are. I mean, again, we're not even a quarter way in, so we got a lot of season left. We got a lot of things happening, a lot of potential changes in the roster and all that kind of stuff. So we got, but end of the season, as we get closer, then I'll let you know how nervous I am for my $20. Right now, I still feel pretty confident that the Lakers will have a little bit of a dip.
They'll have adversity. They'll go through it. I know. But
sure.
9 and 4.
I think that how Reddik overcomes that will help me determine.
9 and 4 is good right now. You know, let them go through adversity. I don't mind. But 9 and 4, I'm happy, man. I'm happy with my Lakers. I am on cloud 9 right now with Dalton Connect shooting those threes. It makes me happy, man.
This is like when we first started the season. I think we were like 3-0 or 4 or something like that. And you were like, "Look at Reddik, he's coach of the year." And then we lost. I never said coach of the year, but the
3-0 though, that's huge, bro.
That's huge. And then we lost for the next 4 straight games, and then I heard nothing from you or our other buddy V. Like, even V was like, "Hey man, you said the Lakers suck." I'm like, "Yeah, just wait until something."
Hey, but they hit adversity. They went on that 5-game road trip and they lost 4 games and they won 1, right? And then they were 4 and 4. But since then, they went on a 5-game win streak after that. So they overcame
they've been very, very minor teams. Again, they've been the teams they need to beat.
You have to beat them, though. You have to. They're in your schedule. You got to beat them, man. You got to beat them.
But us losing to Detroit was a big telling point for me. You cannot lose to Detroit.
Yeah.
Right? So that was big. But besides that, I mean, we will see. A lot of season left, man. I know we're just wrapping up NFL. We're not wrapping up NFL.
Yeah,
NFL
we're
is still going strong.
Yes.
But this is the best time of the year, man. We got Thanksgiving coming up. So a lot of good sports teams for that. And then we got Christmas. And then before you know it, Super Bowl's here. It'll be an amazing time, man.
And let me throw in one more thing. The Dodgers are meeting with Juan Soto today.
Yeah, I saw that. What do you think? They get him?
So this is a quote I take from one of the NBA insiders or MLB insiders.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I took that he quoted the Dodger organization about this meeting is that they were overblown or outblown by the financial prediction of Shohei Ohtani's income. Meaning that the revenue that came in because of signing Shohei Ohtani, meaning that they recovered that whole money. So they have so much money to spare still. And so they feel that Shohei signed for $600 million, right? Or $700 million, whatever the case he signed for. They recouped that basically. And they're saying that that's not going to hurt them at all. So if we sign Juan Soto,
jeez.
And we bring our back, our outfield can potentially look Juan Soto, Tio Hernandez, other outfielder we have. I mean, Mookie's not there anymore, but anybody else can be in the center. And I put Mookie back in there. Fuck it, But dude, I don't know, man. And did you hear what Mookie said?
Crazy, man.
Did you hear what Mookie said during the awards?
No, I haven't.
There was MLB awards last week, and he won the Silver Slugging Award. And the host asked him, on the stage that young players are looking up to you. How do you become a multi World Series champion? Like what to do, because you have done it 3 times now. 2 with the Dodgers, 1 with the Red Sox. What advice can you give a young player? They gotta wait 7 more years. There's nothing I can. There's nothing. There's nothing they can do right now.
Right. Damn. This is like how Patrick Beverly told Steph Curry. Like, this is our next whatever, time. Right? It's our time. I hope it isn't time. I mean, with the way everything's going, I think Dodgers are likely to do that, but. That's a lot of cojones, man. A lot of cojones.
That's crazy, man, right there. He's like, gotta wait 7 more years. You can't do anything about it. And you know what, man? I don't blame that because we won with the starting pitching. That wasn't even there.
Yeah, I know.
That wasn't there.
That was right. We had
Shohei Ohtani is our ace, and he wasn't even pitching.
Yeah.
We had Gonsolin out for the year, who was our second best pitcher. We were going with our 3rd and 4th, who was our 1 and 2. Just think that in. Yamamoto is basically like a 3rd.
Yeah. And he was
our second. Buehler was our second. But yeah,
well,
I'll end it off there.
I hope we get Buehler back, though. I hope we get Buehler back. I think
I hope so. I hope
but,
so, man. So, yeah.
Man, can't wait. I mean, because Soto is after the money. So and I think the Dodgers will probably offer him a lot of money. So
yeah.
And again, he didn't have much regret when they lost. Like he's like, all right, I'm on to the next one. I want to see what I get paid. I don't care. We lost.
You know what, man? The only reason I want Soto in a Dodger uniform is only for one reason only. You know why?
Fight the Yankees.
No, I don't care about the Yankees. It's because Machado played for us and went to the San Diego Padres. Machado knew how much we hate Padres, and he went and signed there. If we get Soto, he played for the San Diego Padres, and now he'll be playing for the Dodgers. Think about that rivalry. We'll even go crazy, man. That'll be great. Great. Must-see TV.
Next season's going to be good. Next season's going to be good if we get him. But well, as you know, we at the Brown Balls, we will definitely be covering all of that as it comes in.
Yeah, my best friend, Tapas. Let's do this, man.
Oh, yeah. Next week, we will be here. We'll be going through all of the games that we had. I mean, we might be a little late because I'll be coming back from SoFi from watching the Chargers beat the Ravens. So my $5 bet.
You should do a live, man. You should do a Brown Ball live podcast there, bro. Oh, not live, but do a live after the game's over, Get on live.
Yeah.
Stream live,
This just in. Kenil was
They
wrong all
won.
along. I knew it.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, nonetheless, we will see you guys next week. Later, guys.
Peace.